am. What do we got? So, okay, I'm gonna play support here. I'm gonna play Bouillon. This is actually perfect. So I'm doing a bot match just so I can demonstrate some of the points that I'm after today. Um, this map is going to be good for those who are seeking to learn more about map control, but the focus of this little video that I decided to make is more so about taking stock of the game state. That is the thing that I want to watch right now. So because they're bots and they're beginner bots, they're going to play like beginner bots, but I'm hoping it's close enough for me to be able to play and then highlight the points that I really want to make, because there's a few specific points I want to draw out. So really quick, just right away, just immediately, our teammates are positioned like maybe what I would say like a bronze player would want to position, just like right in front of the enemy spawn. But most people are going to want to position, and I'll pause it to show this. Most people are going to want to position like in gold and silver, when are going to want to position down here. I'm positioned where I think is the most powerful spot in this particular map. I think this is legitimately the most powerful spot on the whole map, like in and of itself. But I also think that this principle is going to be kind of trackable, and it can work on more than just this one spot here in this moment on this map. So these guys are playing terrible, but even still, I think even in this little mini fight that I'm having, I'm just farming guys, I'm going to check the bots out. But even in this fight that I'm having right now, I think you can see the benefit of playing this high ground position. So we talked about map control, and that is definitely important, and this is a good spot to reference that. But this video, like I said, is not about map control, it's about game state. So I'm going to pause it, go to the lobby. I'm going to make myself a spectator, and hopefully I can... Does it stop the entire match if I do that? It does, huh? It does. No, it doesn't. Okay, sick. Oh, but I can't move as a spectator. Chat, I'm sorry, I've never done this before, in the way that I'm thinking about doing this. But the principle is going to be the same. So I'm going to come off, and you see... my team is going to lose this fight now, because they lost one, but also because they are... Did he just spawn instantly? He did. They're also going to lose because they are in bad positions, right? So the purpose of today's video is, like I said, game state. What I mean when I say game state is this concept right here. So we can see the actual scoreboard. Now, when we look at the scoreboard, which is something every player should do almost as often as possible, like whenever you're not actively in the middle of a team fight, you should be flashing and checking your scoreboard. If you don't already do that, you see my team lost that team fight. But when we talk about game state, we're talking about everything that is happening in the game right at this moment, or the state of the game. So right now, our game state is our team is split 2-2, and they're coming back from spawn. Their team is clustered hard around the payload. And right now, nobody's used any resources. So as the fight opens up, we're going to see abilities and cooldowns start to come out. So that's going to change the game state, right? We see, if we just take a moment, sorry, you can still see, in this moment, when we talk about game state, we want to talk about if you had the ability in like a comp game to pause the game just like this, what would be everyone's status in the match at that moment? So this is a little bit of a higher level concept, I think. It's not something every player in the team needs to be thinking about immediately and immensely all the time, but having consideration in your head of, okay, in this moment, we know their team has a Doomfist, a Soldier, a Tracer, a Mercy, a Zen, which means we need to be on the watch out for Punch, Helix Rocket, Pulse Bomb, Res, and Discord, right? You don't have to pull out every ability, but that is all included in the game state. And then our team is missing a player. We have a Doomfist, we have an Ashe, we have a Tracer, and a Moira. So that means I can rely on and depend on a Moira Orb, Moira Spray. Those are both so high healing, we could say, from Moira, Tracer, again, with the Pulse, I think is her most critical ability. Obviously, Ashe has got the Dynamite to watch out for and headshots, and then Doom's got the Punch. So we have a lot of burst damage on our team, a high burst potential, as well as burst potential healing for the whole team. Their team has even more, I would argue, burst potential because, for example, if they focused Doomfist, Soldier, Tracer, Zen, Mercy, Bluebeam all on one target, then that target's obviously going to fall over, even if our team is playing around it because we have the deficit. So in that moment, obviously, you can't stop a real game and pause and go through a full checklist in your head of everything that's going on in the game. But what you want to get in the habit of doing is paying attention to key aspects of the game state moment to moment. So I'm gonna come back into the game now with my game state knowledge fresh on my brain. Nope, I'm gonna put myself in the game now with what we just talked about game state fresh in my brain. And when we come back, we're going to play, as it were, obviously, because again, these are bots, but we're going to play around the game state as it evolves. This is the thing that separates higher level players from players who are not as high a level. So if we were coming back from spawn in this instance and we can observe, we see 3 arrows in a low HP, 2 low HP, so they're both going to die. They're not going to survive this team fight because it's a 3v5. So if we let this team fight play out, 1, 2, and now the Doomfist has gone critical, he's also going to fall over. Once they all die, because we saw how this team likes to play, they're all going to hard focus the payload and roll the payload. Look at that. Payload's going to roll. Our Doomfist is in really bad position, so he's actually going to proc the passive healing between now and then. But because our other support has staggered and is not coming in, he's probably going to fall over too. Now, we can get in at this point because we can see the game state, and if we paid attention, we would have noticed it was a Baptiste. So Bap has this unique ability to get the Doom actually alive. So from here, we can target out key players, land our big cooldowns, and make a play for our team. Now, again, I can't emphasize enough, these are bots. So it's going to be a bit easier in this moment for me to make a game-saving play, regardless of whether or not I'm actually capable of doing that in a game. But what I wanted us to focus on was the game state as it evolves. So I could have told you how that team fight was going to go based on paying attention to, you got it, the game state. So that is what I wanted to focus on today. Like I said, today's video is not meant to be like an in-depth guide. I'm going to talk about this concept more as I do things like VOD reviews and look over teammate games. Because I want, in a perfect world, I want my teammates to be paying attention to things like this on their own and have that mental model in their mind. So in this moment, we just saw Kiri ult. We know Tracer has all of her abilities because she's not spending a ton of time moving. Or Kiri Suzu at home. So that's how you pay attention to game state. In this moment, we know he's got healing. Now we have to watch for Rocket. A simplified way, and then I'll be done. I'm thinking about game state. It's like ult tracking, but for everything that happens in the game. That's my quick tip for today. See ya.